Hi, it's the Rawsome Vegan Gal here, and I know you can't see me, but right now I'm scanning across this beautiful outside exterior antique entrance to the farm of a friend of mine. His name is Barry Koral, and here is his card. You can see that. It's upside down. Whoops, that wasn't good. He is a tropical fruit farmer and an artist, and we're going to introduce him right now. Here he is, Barry Koral. Now, I'm going to ask you an interesting question and put you on the spot.
Sure, always.
Okay, so if you could define yourself in one word, what would that one word be and why?
Expansive.
Okay, and tell me why.
Because I always choose to stretch from my limitation. I always go over my head to get ahead.
That's great.
And I feel that that is the ultimate way of arriving at youthfulness and never getting old, because we're constantly stretching and we're constantly hydrating ourselves. We stay expanding, expansive, and flexible. And I think part of getting older is when you lose your flexibility, you get set in your ways.
Right. Great.
We have to be open to all new possibilities that are presented to us.
Wonderful. Now, Barry, we're going to actually come into your farm here. I'm looking at your sign right now, Koral's Tropical Fruit Farm.
Right over here.
And we're going to actually be walking around because he's not just a fruit farmer, he's an artist extraordinaire. Now, he's an artist of many forms, both from his exteriors to his interiors, and you'll understand what I mean by that as we walk through. He's got outdoor artistry, he's got a studio that's art, he actually makes his own art too, his love art. So we're gonna, and of course his farm, so everything he does is actually art. So if I had to define you, I would actually use the word art, because that's who you are, an artist. That's everything is about you is involved with art, from your food to your home, to everything you do has that creativity. So
to simplify my identity, I would say that I'm involved in the art of living.
That's wonderful.
And I am the artist of my creation, and what I do is be creative with an everyday existence, or the way I live is all about creativity. And everything that I do is involved and surrounded by creativity, not just the exterior art, but the internal makings of myself, and the way I think, and the way I act, and the way I put things together in the outside world is all about the art of living.
That's wonderful. Okay, Barry, now we're going to walk inside, so you walk in front.
Thank you.
And we're going to actually go inside his wonderful
I'm going in
farm.
circles.
Yes, and you're going to see as I walk through with Barry, he has a lot of interesting antique artifacts that he decorates his farm with.
This is a avocado tree that is not grafted. It's called a Mexicola.
Okay.
We just finished picking them. They're very small avocados, and it's the only avocado that isn't grafted, so it's very, very unique, and you can actually eat the skin.
Really? How interesting.
So, most people that are Hispanic, the other side of the border, South America, Central America, and Mexico, they know about this. It's very kind of a rare fruit here in the States.
Okay.
But some people have learned to enjoy it and experience it, and they seek it out when they come to the farmer's market. They ask me if I have them in season, and I actually do right now.
That's great. Okay, let's continue walking through and observe here's some of your artifacts that you have.
So what I've done is I grew these cactuses. They were actually very, very small.
I
got here 15 years ago. And what I've done this for is to create a visual vortex of energy that softens people as they come into it, creating beauty. And one moment, please.
Yes, we're going to have to go get some umbrellas here because it is starting to rain on our parade. But that's okay. We're going to still film. I just need to get my umbrella. Barry's going to help. That's part of the video. Part of the experience is that it's organic.
Yes. So what I've done is I've collected artifacts, and I really believe that a lot of what's going on in our society is a throwaway society. So what I do, not that I'm hoarding it, but I'm more interested in the unique qualities of a lot of antique type items. And what I've done is I've incorporated them with the nature, so it gives it a unique feeling and flavor. And the whole idea is showing what has gone past and to capture the unique qualities of the item, because a lot of what people have done in the past is they put a lot of care and personality into what they were creating.
Okay.
So as a result, what I'm wanting to do is capture that and reflect onto that with supporting it by surrounding myself with nature.
That's beautiful. Now I want you to come and show us. We have some unique art in outside of your
Sure.
location.
This is where I store my fruit, and I also sort it here. Before I go to the farmer's market, we gather it from down where I grow the fruits.
Right, we're going to see some of that. And now, but I want you. You have some very unique art that I'm going to walk towards.
Okay.
And tell the people about. Now, what I'm looking at, this structure. This. Well, I'd like to look at the structure first. This is your.
This is the necessary room. It's also known as an odd house. I did it with all recycled wood. Everything is functional. There's actually a toilet inside. You can look inside.
Okay, we're going to take a look. So this is very unique, that he actually has this kind of a structure outside that is actually functional, and it's quite nice. And it's done very well. And even on the bottom here, he's got some beautiful little stones leading up to it. And then you also have an outdoor shower, I understand.
So what I've done here is I've created a wall.
And this is part of the necessary room.
Objects.
It's beautiful.
To rather than leaving just a plain wall, I created beauty and incorporating nature into it, so it has an intrigue, and it has the type of structure and direction that's created interest. And I use different types of textures and different materials. When I travel, rather than collecting stuff, I collect pieces of nature, and then I put them all together, and I create these assemblages.
That's beautiful. Okay, now let's take a look at the shower here. This is also something that was outdoor creation.
When I was
part of your artwork.
When I was in South America, in Chile, everything there is very colonial, and it's got a very antique quality. So I found this here door on the side of the road, and I just painted it in a way that it looks old, so it goes along with the environment. And then when you go inside, you can see the outdoor shower.
And beautiful, again, all your ceramic tiles. How beautiful. And we'll even go down to the floor here. I mean, this is all made by hand. This has not been manufactured by some, company. And even the top, the skylight, it's done very beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you. Should we look at the outdoor shower?
Let's actually walk around the farm. Sure. I'd like to see the farm and the studio, because Barry has a very unique studio. The studio is actually a work of art itself. So that's why I would love to show that.
Some of the different trees.
Right, here's their citrus trees.
And we're pruning the fig trees right now.
Yeah, the season is over for figs. So if you're a fan of figs, you got to wait till next year. If you live in San Diego and you come to the farmer's market where Barry sells his fruit, then you'll get to enjoy that in Hillcrest Farmers Market in San Diego.
And what I do is I create all these artifacts.
Yeah, so here's his artifact art all over his farm, and that's why his farm is so unique. That's why I say his farm is actually a work of art, his farm itself.
What I've done is I've recycled some barbed wire, and I create out of just funky materials. And this is my grapevine.
That's beautiful.
During the season, plentiful amount of grapes grow, and I just pick them and enjoy them.
Okay, we're going to continue walking on here to see all his interesting art.
Then over here, I grow the passion fruit, and I've created all these different artifacts to go along with the vine. And it grows over it, and then I'm able to pick it. Over the container, the building, what I do is I also grow the passion fruit, so it gives it a green look over the entire environment.
Right.
So the look of the building is not so abrupt, and it creates a more harmonious look throughout the environment.
So you're keeping with the same theme of the energy of the farm.
And then over here I grow apples, and what I've done is I grow what I love, and then I keep them together in certain areas.
Right.
One of the beautiful things that I'm growing right now is getting towards the end of the season. I have persimmons. I really want you to see how beautiful they are.
Oh yes, persimmons is one of my favorite fruits. Now, what is the benefits of persimmons, Barry? Can you tell us what nutritional benefits do persimmons have?
Well, what's really interesting, every color of every fruit or vegetable correlates with what's going on inside the body. So this is predominantly red, so it goes along with the red inside the body, which is a blood purifier. It also has the beta-carotene.
Right, the orange.
And as a result, it's very good as a cancer preventative. And it cleanses the body, and it's very good for elimination. It's also good for quick energy.
Okay.
And it's a high vibrational food. It's absolutely beautiful. These are really, really big and beautiful.
Now, what type of persimmons are these? I know
These are called Hachiya.
Okay, I know I've actually read they're a Japanese fruit, and there's over, I think I've heard 5,000 varieties of persimmons. That's what I
know
read.
of 3, but this is
I
a
know,
Hachiya.
isn't that amazing?
Yeah. This is a Hachiya. There's also a chocolate persimmon.
Oh, chocolate,
Yeah.
wow.
I don't have those right now. And then we have the Fuyu, which is next to our...
Now, what's the difference between the Hachiya and the Fuyu?
These must be eaten soft.
Okay.
And if you don't, it gives off an astringency to your mouth, and
Okay.
you wish you never even bite into it.
Exactly, I've heard that
And
too,
the other
yeah.
one you can eat like an apple.
Right.
These have to be very soft.
Okay, so let's get really close
Yeah.
so we can actually see
See
what
how
they
gorgeous
look like.
it is.
Look how beautiful that is, wow.
Nobody has them that big.
They're gorgeous.
And then eventually they are soft right on the tree. This one's actually getting
And
soft.
there's a whole bunch up there.
If I don't
That
pick
beautiful.
them before the animals get them,
Exactly.
they
See,
enjoy
animals
them.
know. You see, us humans, we can learn a lot from the animals
Yeah, they
because the
tune right
animals
in.
know what is good and when it's ready to eat. They know when food is ripe. They'll peck at it.
Actually, eating fruit that isn't ripe, it gives off a chemical reaction, and it actually causes more harm than good.
Well-
So it's really important to be aware of your food source and also the quality of the fruit as far as its ripeness. This one
Right.
is ripe right on the tree right
Right.
there. Look at it.
You can pick it
Cracking.
right now. Go ahead, Barry. Pick it. Let's see.
I might
Well,
need a
turn
clipper.
it off. You can twist it. Let's see if you can twist
see.
it off.
gotta
I think
be
you can do
delicate.
it. I know. Fruit should be handled with loving care because we want the love in the food that when we eat it. Is it gonna work? Barry's he's working his magic.
Let me get a little clipper.
Well, actually, let's go to the studio now.
Okay.
Let's walk towards that. We can walk and talk about some of the other trees.
I'll come back to that.
And I'd like us to see your studio because that's another unique part of your property.
So
that
over here, just on our way, these are the guavas. They've
Okay.
been plentiful this year. They're starting to wind down right now.
Okay.
But these are the Mexican guavas. I also have Brazilian guavas.
Okay.
And recently, over the summer, we had a bad drought and I lost some trees, so we're planting some new trees here.
Okay. Great. Yeah, and I see citrus. Citrus trees you have a lot of. Citruses are very easy to grow, I imagine. Are citrus? Oh, okay. Okay. What is your favorite avocado for yourself? And why is that? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Right. Right. Oh, that's wonderful. That's good to know. And then let's talk about. Oh yeah. That's a very unique fruit. You want to talk about that, Larry? Okay. Okay. Right. Citrus has very good healing properties too. It's very medicinal. Now let's talk about your compost over here, and then we'll continue. And then we're going to show you the studio. So you can see that as well. So what's the benefit of using compost on your, in your garden, in your farm? Okay, let's see the compost is down there.
Over
We
there.
can see. Okay, we can see that.
We
Right, we can see our kale growing, lots of kale. The kale is very hardy, so it actually can survive extreme weather conditions. Right. looks like. I see.
Really delicious.
But yeah, compost is very important. It nourishes the soil. It gives it lots of minerals and vitamins. And
Exactly.
and what you're doing is you're returning back to the earth what belongs there to begin with. So you're cycling it back to where it needs to be.
It's also a spiritual connection, because I think what's going on in our society, we have a tendency of always wanting to take, and it's an opportunity for us to give back.
I agree. I
So
think
the idea is that we are a blessing, and we're being blessed by the food that nature gives us, but we're blessing nature, which is Mother Earth, by feeding her back the foods and the compost that she loves to mineralize the soil,
Right.
which goes back into our bodies.
Right, exactly, because the soil is where the health begins, not the food. If the soil is lacking the nutrients, the food won't have the nutrients, so the soil comes first.
So what I've actually done right before I even planted any trees here is I spent 3 years just composting the entire environment to create a bed of nutrition for the trees, and then I start growing the trees.
Right, now one very important thing I want to mention that we didn't talk about is that your farm is actually veganic. Most people
Right.
don't know what that means. That means you don't use any animal components in your compost or in your fertilization, which is fantastic because you're really getting very high nutrients compared to people who use animal manure, and it's much cleaner. The food is much cleaner.
I have to take a moment, but I'll be right back.
So, yeah, I'm just going to walk around a little and show you some more of the farm. Here we have some more citrus trees, and we'll look at the garden a little more and some of his artifacts. And here we have some, looks like we have some more green onions growing here, and some more herbs. And we're going to walk around. I remember once being on Barry's farm and helping him out, and he asked me to walk around and actually count all the trees. Now, as you can see, his trees are not all in uniform locations, meaning in rows or anything like that. So it might be a little difficult to do that, but somehow I did, and I think at the time I counted over 100 and maybe 20 trees or something. But when I was doing that, I was not able to have anyone speak to me, because if they would, I would lose count. So I had to have, really quiet and keep on track. But somehow I was able to do that without having a problem. So here's Barry returning to us.
We just created a pit, and what we're doing is we're using the ash as fertilizer for the trees. It's really, really good.
That's great.
And it's something we just established just recently.
Yeah, ash is very good for the nutrient. Now let's go check out your studio here. Now Barry's studio is so unique because the studio itself is a work of art, meaning the entire structure, everything inside and outside is actually art. It's all put together that way.
For storage right now, but you can see the outside of it. And what I've done is I've created a canvas using cement, and I put different artifacts inside because I'm very visual, and I like to be surrounded by beauty. As we're walking in right here, these are the Brazilian guavas. You can see them. And this here tree is very unique. This is a chocolate sapote.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very hard to find these. Normally you find them in Mexico.
Right.
These are in small right now, but they're going to get bigger. But
now
see some bigger ones right there.
Now what's the season for sapotes?
These come in about springtime.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually I sold them at the farmer's market. I brought them to the farmer's market, and the same day I sold all of them.
Wow, people just love them. They absolutely love them. So yeah, this is the studio. So everything you see is all art. It's all put together by Barry and made into a studio. So
did you want to go inside?
Yeah, let's go in. We won't mind the storage. We just want to actually see the structure because its structure is so unique. And I'm gonna put this umbrella down while I go in. And it's kind of dark in here. I'm not getting any light, so it's a little too dark.
See the shower.
It's a little too dark in here, Barry.
Here, there's some light.
Okay. We're going to walk in, so sorry people that you're not seeing the actual structure yet because it was too dark in the... yeah, I see that. Oh, and the beautiful
it's a
tile work. So it's still a little dark in here. We can see some of it on this side. So that's done really nice. It's a little too dark in here. We're not getting as good of lighting. So we're gonna yeah. So you're not really able to see the structure that well. In here we probably could see a little more. So you see, Barry likes to use a lot of color, and he's very vibrant in his you know, in his outlook on life. So I don't think we're getting you clear. So we're gonna walk back outside.
Perfect.
Sorry, people, that we're not able to show you the studio as much as I'd like.
Another time.
When we're able to. And so let's, in closing, as I come back here and talk to you, in closing, Barry, what would you say in your lifetime would be the most important thing that you could share with people to help them, guide them on their journey to their own healthy living?
I think the best thing we could do is do whatever we can to learn to be comfortable within your own skin, and to not be destructive in your behavior, to be constructive. Even if your thoughts are not the best, or they're negative, or whatever you're feeling, to always move forward with your thinking and your actions in a positive way. Even if you're going through a hard time, do positive things, because when you get through it, you're going to have all that positive energy to look back on and to integrate into who you are as an individual. And I think it's really important that as a humanity we focus on being healthy and finding out what we could really do to create healthier relationships. And the number one and most important relationship is with yourself.
That is absolutely fantastic and so beautifully said.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you, Barry, for letting me come and sharing with me your beautiful farm and your art that you have done magnificent with, and that the rest of the world can see it as well. And I want to just thank everyone for watching. It's the Rawesome Vegan Gal.